So it means that the world is controlled by fish. Yes. Because this omen, this goes like as you are making a makhluk mutasarrif. And ya subhanallah, in these Chinese people and Korean and Japanese and all of them, this superstition is too much. Otherwise, basically, they are Buddhist. And Buddha was not a man of omens. Yes? Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu ala nabi al-kareem. ومعاش بني آدم وتدبير منازلهم وسياسة مدنهم لا يتم إلا بعقل وتميز.
وتمييز.
I have 2 years.
Yes, 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes. ميز يميز تمييزا.
وتمييز. وإدمان الخمر ترجع إلى نظامهم بخرم قوي ويورث محاربات
وضغائن.
غير أن أنفسا غلبت شهوتهم الرديئة على عقولهم.
أقبلوا على هذه الرذيلة.
وأفسدوا عليهم
ارتفاقاتهم.
فلو لم يجري الرسم بمنع عن فعلتهم تلك
لهلك الناس.
وهذا
فلو لم يجري الرسم بمنع عن فعلتهم تلك لهلك الناس.
فلو لم يجري الرسم بمنع عن فعلتهم تلك لهلك الناس.
Yes.
وهذا أصل
حرمة إدمان الخمر. وأما حرمة قليلها مضاف إليه مش مجرور باشد.
وأما حرمة قليلها وكثيرها فلا يبين إلا في مبحث الشرائع. والفحول منهم يشبهون الفحول من البهائم في الغضب على من
يصد
عن مطلوب ويجرى عليه مؤلما في نفسه أو في بدنه. لكن الفحول من البهائم لا تتوجه
إلا إلى مطلوب محسوس
أو متوهم. والإنسان يطلب
المتوهم. إنسان is متوهم, the thing concerned is متوهم.
والإنسان يطلب المتوهم والمعقول.
وحرصه
أشد من حرص البهائم. وكانت البهائم تتقاتل حتى ينهزم واحد ثم ينسى الحقد إلا ما كان من مثل الفحول من الإبل والبقر والخيل. والإنسان يحقد ولا ينسى.
فلو
فتح فيهم باب
التقاتل لفسدت مدينتهم واختلت معايشهم فألهموا حرمة القتل إلا لمصلحة عظيمة من قصاص ونحوه. وهاج من الحقد في صدور بعضهم مثل ما هاج في صدور الأولين وخافوا القصاص فانحدروا إلى أن يدسوا السم في الطعام أو يقتلوا بسحر إلى آخره. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين. After talking about birr and a'mal hasana, that a'mal hasana, a human by nature is inclined to good deeds, but because they are living in this world of materials and he has the desires and whims, so that's why those desires and whims that cover that talent or nature of him from all around, so he is unable to do good. So for doing good, he has to pull that element out to practice. For a while when he will practice, so then that element will prevail. when that will prevail, then not to do good, that will be for him just like a test. Got it? So then Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says, same is the case of bad deed. That bad deed, that is becoming out of animalcy or animal nature. Because Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi, again and again, he is mentioning one thing, that our nature is human. That's a mixture of animalcy and angelcy. But angelcy, that is the core. Angel nature, that is what? That is the core. And the second element, animalcy, that is covering that core from all around. Got it? And he says that this animal nature in this regard is very strategic, because he is supported from outside as well. Why? Because in outside there are matter, materials, whims, desires. So the animals is supported from outside. So thus is surrounded the angelcy from all around. Got it? And thus he is doing wrong things, or he is doing evils. But certain evils in chapter before this one, Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says, Az-zunub al-lazima. What more, Yusuf? Az-zunub al-lazima. The sins which a person does, but it befalls him only. It affects him only. But now in this chapter, Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi is talking about az-zunub al-muta'addiya, which is just like virus. It does not befall you only, it destroys the society as well. It destroys others as well. Yes, so that's why Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi, he headed this chapter, Babul Asam allati fima bainahu wa bainan nas. So those sins which affects other as well, you are doing it, but you are destroying. Yes, ke be'adab khudra na tanha dasht bad, balki atish darhama afaq zad. Sadi says, ke as khuda khahim tawfiq adab. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me adab, ihtiram, make me a cultured person. As khuda khahim tawfiq adab, be'adab mahroom gasht as fazl rab. Somebody who is not a cultured guy, he does not have any respect for elders. So he said that be'adab mahroom gasht as fazl rab, he is deprived of the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He does not have the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says, ke be'adab tanha na khudra dasht bad. He is not doing wrong to himself only, balki atish darhama afaq zal. He is lighting a fire of behudagi in the whole world. Got it? Or not it? So then Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that living entities are of different kinds. So he started with the worms. Worms, these are born of dirt, eating dirt, living in dirt, dying in dirt, turn into dirt once again. Got it? So the earthworm, have you seen their houses somewhere? But in that septic tank, yes, they are roaming around and dying there and living there and whatsoever. Got it? And they are not doing sex, because Imam says that they are born of dirt. But then after that, the other animals, there are male and female in them. So these male and female, they are doing sex and they are making their houses as well. Like Imam gave us an example, like look at the birds. The birds are making their nests. Other animals, they are making their holes or whatsoever they are. Got it? Or not it? So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that then they do a sex. And when the female lays the eggs, so they are hatching it, both of them. And when they hatched it and the babies came out, they are feeding them together. When they are able to fly on their own and to lay on their own, so say bye-bye. Yes, no social life with them anymore. They know their own and we will do our own job. But Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that a human by nature is social. Human by nature is social. Not only that, because sociology, it starts with what? Becoming a couple. The first unit of sociology is what sociology? Say. Say marriage, yes. Yes, that's your experience. Yes. So the first ever unit of sociology is to become a couple. So they are living together. Yes? And then they are doing sex, and they are having kids, and they are feeding them, and they are giving them training, and they are teaching them, and whatsoever they can do for their development. Got it? And Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that because they are social, so he said, look, this sociology is seen from the very beginning that they are eating the same grass type thing as the animal are eating. But the animals, they do eat it in raw shape, the spinach. Got it? And what the humans are doing, they cut it. First they wash it, then they cut it, then they cook it, then they give it tarka. Got it? Or the animals, they are eating the meat in raw shape. Got it? But what the human are doing, number one, they cut it, and number two, they wash it, and number three, then they boil the oil, then they throw the meat therein, and have some spices therein to make it tasty. To make it tasty. So what is this? This is sociology. Imam says, what is this?
Sociology.
This sociology. And then Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that because of this sociology, that was their due right in a sense, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made himself bound to inspire them with what? How to have a social life, how to establish a house, how to make a structure, how to live therein. Got it? Number one. And number two, social life. The birds, they have the feathers. The animals, they have the hair. They can protect themselves with feather and hair from cold and harm. Got it? But the human, he does not have such like feather and such like hair. Got it? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he inspired them how to cover your body. So from day one, they started looking for fabric type things to cover their body with. Got it?
Yes.
Or not it? So Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that in this regard, there are talented people who are inventing, and the others, they are not that much talented, but demand of them is the same demand of those talented. So when the talented, they invent, so these other, they do follow them. Got it?
Yes.
Say.
They follow.
Yes. So those who invented, they are the mujideen, and those who follow, they are the muqallideen. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, ijad and taqleed, that is logical and reasonable. And in the same way, somewhere else, Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, same is the case of ijtihad and taqleed. That in deen, there must be mujtahid. Like as on material side, there is a mujtahid. Scientists, all of them, they are mujtahideen. Who are the scientists? They are the mujtahideen. Yes. But they invented, when they invented, we call them mujideen. Inventor is called what? Mujideen. So they, and we do follow them. Yes or not? Yes. They invented this fan. First, they invented this electric. Can I create electric?
No.
I do not know. How to make it, that's not my job. But I do follow Edison. Yes, he is my imam, and I am his followers. He is my imam. Who is our imam in electric? Say. Thomas Edison. So Thomas Edison is Imam Thomas Edison. Yes, Imam of electronics or electric. And we are his muqallideen. Got it? So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that this is logical and this is reasonable. And then Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that in the same way, because of sociology and social life, as humans are living together in villages, in towns, in cities, so Allah inspired them with what? Allah put in their nature that destroying the system of a town or a village or a state or a country, that is haram. Because it will not harm others, it will harm you as well. Or it will not harm you only, it will harm the entire city as well. Got it? So Then Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that for their destruction, there are 3 types of amal. One is called amal shahaviyah. Amal, if like the wild beast, if the male, they are jumping on the female without any specification for a male, that this woman is the wife of this man. Nobody else has any right to touch her or to look at her. So if this would not have been the case, and amal shahaviyah, they were doing it as free as the wild beasts are doing or the animals are doing. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, the city is destroyed, the state is destroyed, the system is destroyed. And not only that, the ansab are destroyed. Who is the son of whom? Nobody knows. Who is the daughter of whom? Nobody knows. And he says that the second one is amal sabu'iyah. What is amal sabu'iyah? Darindagi. In Persian we call it darindagi. Yes, cutting and hitting one another, killing and injuring one another. So the system is getting destroyed by that type of attacks on one another. And number 3, Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says, amal nashi'a min su'il aqsi fil muamalat, corruption. What? Corruption. So he said 3 types of amal, it destroys the system. Number 1, amal shahawi. Number 2, amal sabu'i. Number 3, amal nashi'a min su'il muamalat. Got it? Cheating one another in sale, in purchase, in rent, in hire, in partnership, just name it like this. Got it? So as a whole, we call it corruption. We call it what? Corruption, because corruption is of different type. Corruption is not only taking bribe. Yes, all these are corruption. If you are cheating in sale with someone, that's corruption. Yes, in buying someone, so that's corruption. So then Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired them that one woman, she will be specific for one male in humans because of all these things. But Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that's why Allah inspired them like animals and put their nature instinct that every male of any type of animal is inclined to a male or inclined to a female. Say, have you ever seen any gay business in them? Say if you have seen, so just tell me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the same way, Imam Rahmatullah alayhi say, he inclined male human to the female. But he said, yes, allazina ghalabat alayhim ash-shahwatul fasidah, that those whose shahwat fasid has overtaken them. So they are doing the same sex, male with male. Male with male. So Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says, it means that their nature has become fasid. Their nature has become fasid. And then Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says, because of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made zina haram and liwatat haram. And for today, inshallah, it will be tomorrow. Sallallahu ta'ala ala khair khalqi Muhammadin wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in bi rahmatika arhamar rahim. Professor.